No, it's 36?
36,
Good morning.
yeah, 36.
Ladies and gents, we're here for episode 36 of the Dropouts podcast. My name is Jean-Claude, JP. We've got Matthew on my left. We've got Shawnee on my far left. Today is the 21st of February, and we're going to be talking about... Why don't you kick us off, boys?
You know what? Like out of 36 episodes, that was probably one of the best introductions you've ever done.
Yeah, that was good.
That was really good.
Off the cuff.
Yeah, you liked it?
Straight off. Yeah,
Oh,
that was
thank you.
good.
Thank you.
Hey, well, where did Jean Paul come from? Like, what did your name come from?
Yeah, interesting, because a lot of people think like I'm named after the Pope. Or I'm named after...
I thought Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah,
French.
I thought Jean-Claude
Yeah,
Van Damme, one of the greatest actors of all time.
Yeah.
People think
100%.
I'm French and shit, but no. So it turns out that so I was born on the same day as John the Baptist,
Okay.
and it was St. Paul's feast at the time.
How do we know John the Baptist's birthday?
I don't know, bro.
Is that guaranteed?
I don't know.
When's your birthday?
7th of July, 7/7.
Ooh.
It
Very nice.
probably was
Very
called
nice.
something else like 8 Hatut. You know how there's like the names of the calendar, like the calendar was different.
No, I didn't know. Like, because like the Gregorian
we
calendar.
we have like the Synaxarium, which is like the Coptic
Coptic calendar. So that's why your Christmas is on like the 7th of Jan.
yeah, similar to like the Russians.
And how
stuff
early
like
was
that.
it when you were being called JP? Was it at school?
Yeah, pretty early on.
Pretty
So
early, yeah.
funnily enough, I hated my name when I was young because it was just different, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone's like, oh, you
Jean-Paul.
got 3 first names, John Paul Gabriel.
True.
Now it's
yeah.
like, bro, you look at footy, like everybody's got 3 names. Sonny Bill Williams.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
Who
Jerry
else?
Marshall King.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's just so
There's
funny.
like 3 or 4 of them.
It's so funny how things change though. Like I couldn't, like I love my name so
Yeah.
much now.
Yeah.
I know quite a few JPs.
But I wanted to be like, it's funny when I was younger, I was like, oh, I just want like a normal name, like a
Fit in.
you know, like
I
a
just wanna fit
Matthew
in.
or an, you know, or a,
Bro, I do not
What did he
like
say?
the name Matthew.
why? Matthew's a
Where
nice name.
did Matthew come from?
The Bible.
Like, why were you named Matthew?
Okay, so there's Robbie, Michael, and Matthew,
Oh.
my 3 brothers. Robbie was not meant to be Robbie.
3
or
very white
Robert.
names.
What's
The
it supposed to be?
it was meant to be Raghib.
I swear to God, I was about to say it's definitely some Arab version of
Because
that.
my dad's
It
dad...
probably is Rahib.
No, it's
but
not.
He says
my
Robbie.
dad's dad was called Raghib, and my dad said, I'm going to name him Raghib. My mum was like, there's no freaking chance we're going to name your son
Say it
Raghib.
again.
Raghib.
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 Raghib. Say Ragh.
No, it's not. It's R-A-G-H-E-B, Raghib.
Raghib.
No, it's
Oh,
Raghib.
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 And then
okay.
Michael, obviously, you know, like
Michael.
Saint Michael, Michael.
Michael.
And then Matthew was like another biblical name. But
Matthew.
no, it's Matthew in French.
Matthew.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Mathieu et toi? Comment ça va? Ça va très bien.
J'habite à Sydney. I live in Sydney.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, thanks.
Anything else?
Nah.
I like crepes.
Al Khalik.
I like khalik.
Oh, we're going back and forth. What was I going to say? Yeah, what about your name, Shawnee?
My grandfather's name is John, and I think Sean comes from.
So my name's John.
Sean comes from like John or something
Bro,
like
John?
My
that.
grandfather's name is John, so they name me Sean.
Yeah,
No, but I
Sean,
get it.
Sean
comes from John, I believe.
John,
and bro, the
Irish
thing
or
about
something
John
like that.
is like literally, John is such a universal name. Every
Oh,
culture like has their
Yeah,
version
yeah.
of John.
Yeah, like or like, but there's always like
Like in
those,
French, it's Jean.
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 No, but it's Jean. Like
Jean.
Jean.
yeah, but like even like for example, like you got the name I don't know, like Kristen's dad's name's Peter. It's like Butros.
Butros, yes.
Isn't that Peter?
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
It
yeah.
is.
But then if you
In
hear
what?
it in another language, there'll be like it'll sound similar to Arabic.
Like Elias is Elias.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sean.
Anyway, so
Majid
you
calls
know-
me Mafio.
You know, I was thinking about like if I were to like God willing, and we'd be blessed with like having a son one day. I was thinking like fuck, like
Yeah.
I'd love to call my son like after my dad, but bro, like
What's your
I'm
dad's
not
name?
gonna call my son Magid.
You know
Is
what?
that your dad's name?
Yeah, Magid.
One of my-
Magid.
Majid.
One of my favorite memes of all time is like, Dad, why did Mum call me John?
Oh,
Well, that's because she
I've
likes
seen-
John. And then he's like, oh, is that why your sister's called? Like,
oh my goodness.
Oh,
yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, shut up, Maggi Noodles. And he like,
But in terms of like those types of names, like that would be pretty alright these days. But back in the day, you might get bullied for a different name.
totally.
But nowadays, like obviously with
Imagine
regards
coming
to
to
the change
Australia
in,
in 1980s and be like Jack, James, Kyle, Rennie,
Raghib.
and then hello, I'm Raghib.
yeah, but these days it's a bit different, obviously. Like I
Yeah.
said, like in Granville, like the main population is Lebanese,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for example.
Really?
Yeah,
Or Arab of some sort.
It's Lebanese,
Mul-
Indian, and then Australian.
Okay. Well, let's
Yeah.
do a quick survey. There's 3 people here. One of them lives in Granville. That's me. And I'm Arab. So 100% of the people here that live in Granville are Arab.
What?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, true. That's
The math is mathing.
That would be a good like sample size. That
Yeah,
would be
literally.
that would be a valid sample size.
I think so.
What do you think about the population of Australia in the next 50 to 100 years?
Oh, bro, I think everyone's going to be meshed into one.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty weird because if you think forward 100 years, bro, isn't everyone just going to look the same?
Well,
Because everything's just going to mix.
Yeah, but there's only a certain amount of cultures that will stay within their own culture, right? Like,
that's what
culture's
that's what I mean. Is that like everyone knows like all our families like maybe our parents the same national. Then the next generation, a couple people go outside the national, a couple people stay with the same nationality.
Yeah.
But then in 100 years, bro,
it's going to be
everyone's gonna look the same. I can't fathom how they're not going to. Because think about it. Let's just say, God willing, you have 3 kids. Yeah.
Right.
One of them marries an Aussie. One of them marries a Greek. One of them marries a Bosnian. Whatever. Or like maybe one marries Lebanese. Yeah, fine. They look kind of the same. That bloodline keeps going. But then the next one, maybe they have kids and then they have Aussies.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like
Just
eventually,
roll on
maybe
to the
not
next-
100 years, maybe 200 years.
200 years.
Yeah, but you're saying they'll all look the same. I don't think they'll all look the same. They'll
but-
just independently will look completely different.
Yeah, but everyone will just be mixed. That's
Yeah,
my
yeah,
point.
yeah.
Everyone will be mixed.
So,
yeah.
so it's not going to be like, you're not going to have like white people anymore. You'll just have caramel
yeah.
people.
I'm already mixed myself. Like I'm Fijian, Scottish, Irish. Like I'm already mixed already. But you boys are. Well, are your
Yeah.
parents
Well,
the
I
same?
mean, we
Are your
probably,
parents the same?
have more mixed stuff than we know. But
Well,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
to be honest, like I feel like I wouldn't, we don't know the data and don't have it collectively
Yeah.
here, but like I feel like generally, I know like most Arabs continue to marry other Arabs, even still to this day. And bro, to be honest,
Tradition, yeah, like
tradition, bro,
staying with
but
tradition.
like I like the idea of like being with like a wog girl. To be honest,
yeah, but that's because they just hold the same, like
Values
they're closer
and-
to your value set. It's
True.
not.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise,
Like,
if there was no differences in value set, you would probably be way more open.
Totally.
And like even like faith and stuff, like they're just
Yeah.
more likely to be like closer to the faith. They're
are
more
you
likely
totally
to be,
opposed to not dating in New Zealand?
Of course,
girl?
he is.
No, my ex was Australian.
Yeah,
She
why
was
the fuck?
Australian.
She was white.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. But in saying that, like where I grew up, there was a lot of islanders in where I grew up in South Auckland. But then I went to school in the city was all white people.
The Palangis.
okay.
So yeah, the Palangis,
Palangis.
the Pakeha.
Pakeha.
So when I would go to like the school discos and whatever that may be, or the girls were 95% white.
The school disco, bro. What about the school discos? Okay.
Bro, the school discos were
This is actually a
hectic.
good point to get to. So it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we had the sort of would
Pen
you
and
rathers.
paper.
It's like around this sort of, I guess,
Yeah.
like, would you rather date a brown girl or a white girl?
I'm down the middle. Like
What's your type?
Like,
What's
I
your
would
type,
say
Shawnee?
I've probably dated more Palangi girls than brown girls.
Okay.
So let's
Palangi,
go
I
with that.
love
Yeah,
that
yeah,
word.
yeah. But again, that's like in terms of where I grew up. Like because I went to boarding school in that area,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the majority of white girls. So yeah, yeah.
Totally.
I don't know, but yours would be like Arab, right?
Yeah, I like Arab girls.
Yeah, because of your culture and your.
The Arabs invaded in the 6th century. Let me just remind you.
True. But also, too, it's like, you were alluding to, I guess, like, because we agree on a value system and maybe a faith things as well, and like culturally as well, we sort of probably share the same values. But like Arabs in Australia are completely different to like Arabs that you would meet in the US.
So different.
Bro, how different
Yeah,
are
but
they?
that's because like
In what way, though? Like-
well, I mean, even if you look at the US, the UK, like it's almost like they've grown up faster because you're obviously exposed to more in the UK and the US. Like we've still been
Sheltered a bit.
more sheltered here.
think so?
Definitely, yeah. Man, when you meet them over there, there's so much more Americanized.
Yes.
But by the same token, like we're just a step behind.
Correct. And
Not
I
too
also,
far,
and
yeah.
you asked how are we like different? Like, I don't know. Like Sydney Arabs are like a specific type of like lebo. Like we value like
Specific-
I don't know,
Lebo
man. Like it's just
specific.
weird, bro. Like it's weird. I've got cousins from America that are like like our Syrian side, and I met them, and like yeah, like you said, they're very Americanized. But if you met like Arabs from like proper Lebanon versus like the Lebos that are here in Sydney, it's like they're almost like a hybrid between like Australianized and
American.
Lebanese. Like
Oh,
you know like the brothers, the rappers. You know,
Yeah,
brothers.
yeah, yeah,
They're like a perfect example of what I think like Sydney like
They got like
Lebos are
girls
like.
twerking in their videos.
Yeah, literally.
Bro, you see the one outside Chemist Warehouse?
Yes.
That video clip?
Yeah, they put a
That
video.
was actually,
it was a dope video.
Their
clip.
songs bang. Like,
Who are
they
they?
actually go hard.
Arab rappers?
They're
Arab
Never heard
rappers.
them.
Lebanese.
Yeah, they're called brothers.
Brothers? No?
Brothers
Lebanese.
official. Brother.
Brother.
You know, my dad makes a point of like very adamantly saying like when we say Arab, like he's like we're not Arabs, we're Copts because the Arabs invaded and brought brought Islam to the Middle East and to Egypt specifically in the 6th century. So he doesn't anyway. So whenever I hear Arabs, I don't know. I just
You clinch
cringe
up.
a bit because I know how passionate my dad feels about it. And
How was that when you and Kristen married? Because she's Lebanese.
yeah. I mean, it's obviously like
There's
there are like lots of similarities between cultures, but there's also differences too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I mean, obviously, it makes it a lot easier when there's some synergies between the cultures, right? You know what I mean?
Especially because your cultures run so deep.
Yeah,
Look, it's been around for a long time, and it's really
and fundamentally it's all based around like family
values.
Whereas like a lot of the time, if you meet other people, like they don't get that. They're like, oh, like who cares about going to that or doing that like on behalf of someone else? Like, why would I go to that? Just do your thing. It's like, well, no, it's not how it works. Like you just kind of show up for the family kind of thing.
Well, I love seeing like, and it's very rare. I feel like is seeing like super mixed race, polar opposite couples. Like imagine seeing like
blonde hair, blue eyed, and like an African.
Look at John and Em. Look how cute they're. Like
but they're cute, man. And like they're a beautiful couple. I'm not saying like.
But Johnny's not that like.
You don't look at him and think he's
wogged away, is he?
Yeah.
What's M? M's Aussie.
Aussie. Yeah, you're right. He's very Australianised.
But not just that. I'm talking about like imagine. Yeah, exactly. Imagine someone that was like from like Sudan, like marrying like an Irish woman.
Oh yeah,
like that would be hilarious.
That's rare.
I know, right?
Yeah, but like we said, like not in 200 years potentially.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Well, geographically, like imagine like someone from like India, like marrying like someone from like
Bondi.
Maybe India's not like I don't know perfect. I don't know. Like when I went to Bali, I met this guy.
He's just thinking,
India, UK,
is just thinking,
Europe.
How black can the skin get and how white can the skin get, and put them together.
What about India and Iceland?
Let's go. Akon and someone from Norway.
Indian and Iceland, and then the Indian guy moved to Iceland. He's like, oh, honey.
Akon and Taylor Swift.
Can you imagine the Indian guy moved to Denmark to be with his wife? Oh, honey, it's quite cold.
But that's what happens though. Like you look at like European countries like UK. There's a lot of Indians over there.
So many.
There's plenty.
Oh, so many.
So
the
chances of that happening isn't like far-fetched.
Jamaicans.
Jamaicans.
Yeah.
You know what I always
Caribbean
found
islands?
was super interesting? How the Spanish actually colonized the Philippines. That's why you've got...
Yeah, bro. Ramirez and
yes.
big time.
Alvarez,
all their names are so Spanish.
Bro, and that's why like they're like... The guys, you look at them and you're like, wow, this guy,
Ramos,
is he Latino? Is he thing?
Yeah.
And then the women, like, absolutely gorgeous, bro. Latino and Filipino women.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. What else? And on that sort of realm, I guess.
Like in terms of cultures.
Oh, honey, it's quite cold. I want to move.
Wait, what about when they took our poo out of The Simpsons?
Huh?
What?
They removed the poo from The Simpsons.
Did they take him out?
No, they didn't.
The guy from
I swear.
Thank you, come
Our
again.
poo,
That
yes.
guy.
Yeah.
They took him out.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Look it up.
No way, Mac. They wouldn't fall victim
No, I'm
to
pretty
that
sure
shit.
they did. They're
They
woke
did,
now.
yeah.
South Park doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, South Park's crack up.
South Park is so funny.
Bro, they're so good. They go after everyone.
Well, that's why they get away with it, I guess.
Yeah, kind of.
And they just don't really care. Have you seen their not? Oh, I'm sure it's on Broadway, but their play.
No.
That Travis Parker and what is it called? It's about the Mormons.
Oh, you mean Book of Mormon?
Book of Mormon. Yeah,
I haven't watched it.
Bro, it's hilarious.
Is that why they didn't? Did they make that?
Yeah, they made that. Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
everyone says how funny that is.
Bro, it's hilarious.
I haven't watched it.
Well, I don't know if it's out.
Does it? What
still.
is it? Does it just make fun of Mormons?
Yeah, essentially.
Oh, that's kind of slack.
Essentially.
Because I'm just thinking, like, imagine that happened for Christians. I'd feel like that's wrong. But like anyway,
it's funny. It's very funny.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you watched it? When did you watch it?
Oh, it's like 5 years ago.
Long
time ago. It's been around for a very long time.
You didn't strike me as a musical guy.
Who's that?
Man, I was in musicals, if you remember.
You
we spoke about that. Remember you played the tree?
You were in a play, brother.
Oh yeah.
No, but you went in a musical.
It's a play, but it's still a musical.
How did you read the script?
Sing, bro.
Braille. Where's the teleprompter?
No, I read it with Braille.
So why is he reading Braille? Is he blind? No.
He's
sort of blind.
He's just stupid.
He just found it easier. He found it easier than reading.
To read the lines, yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, so that's actually pretty funny. But yeah, they took out a poo from there because they had a big uproar about it or something like that.
Thank you, come again.
He was a great character too.
Apu.
He
He was
a
like,
great
bro,
character.
do you remember that episode where he was sitting on the roof and he was like crying? He's like, what was the song he was singing?
Oh yeah.
Is that the one where he had the wife and the
It was
sister?
a mad song.
So do you know old Simpsons like that?
Nah, I
Yeah.
remember
'Cause I've asked you this before.
No, because I wasn't allowed to watch it as a kid, but I remember
Really?
specific
Wow.
episodes.
So that's something about Arab
Like
households.
if my parents
they
would come
just,
home and they'd see The Simpsons on or something,
What could you watch then?
Turn that off.
Oh, bro, that's so
What
annoying.
could I watch?
Home and Away, Neighbours.
Anything that wasn't M15, like PG.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, bro, oh my God, that used to annoy the shit out of me, bro. Like when you go to the video store, I didn't get like smashed like that, but kids that used to like not get allowed to watch it just because it had like the M15
Yeah, me.
plus.
That was me.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Well, then
me.
there was the MA15 plus.
Yeah.
Well, I
Or
grew-
the-
brother, MA.
MA,
Are
you were in
joking?
trouble.
I'd get
No.
bashed.
No way would you-
Bashed. Bro, once I think I might have told you guys this story. I begged my mum to go and watch Big Daddy, the movie.
Oh, Big Daddy.
With Adam
With Adam
Sandler.
Sandler. Begged her. Because I was like, oh, everyone's watching.
What was the rating of that?
Like M. Wasn't even that bad.
Oh.
Or maybe
Are
MA.
you
I don't know.
joking?
I begged
It
her.
would've
She's
been
like,
M.
and she's like, all right, I'll take you. So we went. Bro, let me explain to you what happened.
First scene.
Took you out.
Bro, the scene, like one, there was swearing in it.
Yeah.
Two,
Yeah.
the scene where this was the warm up scene for her to get pissed off when they were spitting the salt out of their mouth. And
Oh,
they were
yeah,
sucking
yeah.
up their saliva.
Oh, yeah.
That was what
She
the-
was pissed about that.
Oh my God.
Wait. Gets better.
Peeing on the wall.
When they peed on the wall, she
yeah.
stood up. She grabbed my hand, and she. Sorry, my headphone. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She grabbed my hand. She stood up.
Yeah.
And she's like, "We are leaving." She got up. She took me by the hand.
Oh, wow.
We walked out.
grabbed me by
I
the-
started bawling my eyes out. Sorry, Mum. I didn't know it was going to be that bad.
That is so lame.
I felt, you know when I tell
How old
you
were you?
how guilty I felt?
Oh, yeah?
I felt so guilty for the next couple of weeks. I was like, I can't believe I took my mum to see that, like basically like rubbish or filth.
Disgusting. Filth.
Bro, that is like the level. My mum is like,
Wow.
she suffers
You were
no
so
fools
sheltered
when it
then.
comes to that stuff.
How old were
Damn.
you? How old were you?
My mother is an angel.
Yeah, how old were
That's
you?
why he's so like crude and
Yeah.
and
People are like, I don't
provocative
know how
now.
that's your mother.
Yeah, but how old are you when the movie came
I
out?
don't know.
10?
I don't know.
Not even.
When did? Hey, hold on. Hey Google, when did Big Daddy come out?
In Australia, Big Daddy came out on the 16th of September 1999.
Wow,
so-
99.
bro. Oh wow.
Bro.
Oh no, hold on. That wasn't.
So it would have been.
Oh, maybe. So let's say I was like, oh, bro, it would have been less than maybe 10.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I was young.
Damn, bro. That was I was like I was
that's-
born that year.
I can't.
I was swimming around my dad's nuts. But you know what? That story that you just told reminded me of like what my dad used to do. And it used to annoy the crap out of me when I was with like my brothers. So like, if we were sitting down either in the movies or like typically at home, and we'll just put like a movie on like whatever's on Foxtel, and like a sex scene came on.
Oh,
Yeah,
bro,
bro.
that
Funny
was
family.
so awkward.
Bro, my dad and my mum would be there. My mum would be like, turn that rubbish off, turn it off, like the kids are here. And then my dad would be like, he'll like sit there and like
Bro, same.
cover my eyes, but he'll keep watching. And my mum would be like, turn that shit off. He'll be like, all right. He'll turn it off. But then my dad, the horny dog, he was just like 2 seconds later, he'll
Turn
just
it
like
down.
put it back to the next thing. And we're like, what are you doing, Dad? It's still obviously the same scene.
Bro, so I grew up with my dad, obviously. My dad used to do the same thing, but he used to leave his fingers like that. Like that.
Just to allow you to watch it.
Like open his fingers like that.
Let the boy
Let him
watch.
watch it.
Let the boy watch.
I don't know whether he did that on purpose, but his
People
hands were
learn.
just so massive.
He did.
and
He wanted
my
you
head
to
was
be.
so
He
small.
wanted you to be a man. Yeah, bro.
Wanted me
That's
to be
funny.
like a dirty
as.
dog. Yeah, so when I used to do it for my mum. She used to be all right with it. Oh no, she didn't actually. No, she used to turn it off. Yeah, she used to turn it off. Yeah, for sure.
See, like, how do you feel like you would be with your children?
Oh, that's a good question. I would like to think that I would be open to watching Big Daddy at 10 years old.
Yeah, me
Like
too.
that'll be fine.
But the thing is, the problem
like
is with-
sex scenes and things like that's a little bit different.
The problem with kids
Yeah.
is the stuff that I feel like the stuff that you permit
You withhold them
early-
from
They'll
like-
see it anyway.
No, I know they'll see it anyway.
They'll see it
but,
anyway.
but also, when you, what do they say? Tolerance is like, what you tolerate, you promote or something. Like, I honestly feel like if you do that too young, I feel like they end up growing up quicker.
Yeah.
Because their base level of what's permissible is higher from a younger age. Therefore, it only stacks.
Uh-huh.
But
What
what I'm
about-
saying?
Yeah.
Like, let's just have an example, hypothetically speaking. Bro, they haven't even watched, like, this is an extreme example. They haven't even watched anything, or they, or
They're
they're
clueless.
super
They don't know,
sheltered.
yeah.
They're super sheltered. They're less likely to go and engage
Engage in it.
in fucking, debaucherous activities. But just because of the fact that their base is so low. So they're like, oh, like,
They're timid.
they're more timid in
Yeah,
relation to
but-
that stuff. So obviously there's a balance. You don't want them to be fucking
Little nanny. Little
Yeah, but what?
fucking, you
Yeah,
know
but
what
it
I mean,
happens the other
nerds.
way. Like if you're sort of showing them these things like in your own home, like in an environment, not just
Yeah.
putting a porno on and getting and watching it.
Yeah.
If you do it slowly like that, or in your case, like you try shelter them from it. Imagine
Yeah.
you try shelter them from it, say don't do it,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
they go to school, go to friends' houses, and they start to see these sorts
Well,
of
yeah,
things
bro.
Kids are
outside of your control.
Right, but
then it's
bro,
like
kids are
can
cheeky,
go the other way.
Kids aren't like, they're not mature in the sense of like you go and show them something, they're like, oh great, I've seen this in a safe environment. No, they're just
No,
like,
I understand that.
oh, like I've I
Yeah,
watched
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, like they're not like. We're thinking about like a well-behaved child here, and like
I feel like
I
as
feel
well-
like it really does depend on the temperament and like the attitude.
But
of
it's
the
a
child
similar
as
like
well.
alcohol, like giving your child alcohol. Would you wait for them to go out and party and then
Well,
do that,
bro,
or would
to
you
be-
sort of have it within your
To be
household?
honest, I didn't like my parents were very strict. Like there was no such thing as like no little sip of nothing before the
Yeah.
age of 8. No way. Like as in very very hard line
Yeah.
about it. And like to be frank, like
It kinda served you?
I never really
Felt like
started
you
drinking
wanted-
until
yeah.
later, until I met like all my mates from work and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
I never really got into it. Like my cousins and stuff, but there was like I do honestly believe that like the taboo nature of some things does serve a purpose. I don't exactly know why. All I know is it worked for me and it worked for my sisters and stuff.
But
too.
I get what you're saying.
But I've
There's no
also
blanket
seen
rule.
but I've also seen kids that are like have repressed things and they go the
And
other
they go the other
direction.
way. They
but
explode.
I don't know what the recipe is for.
Yeah, that's
success.
right. There's no blanket
there's no
rule
one
there.
way. Yeah.
I think you're right. It is the temperament on the child. Like, and as well, like there's so many factors contributing to that. Like I had 2 older brothers. One was 7 years older. One was 5 years older. Well, they are 7 and 5 years older. But like I feel like I was always in a position where like my temperament was really mature at school. All my teachers were like this kid's like mature. Like I always like rolled my eyes at like silly jokes, and I didn't like always like being seen with like other 8-year-olds. I would always like want to hang out with like older kids. It was always this thing of
Yeah.
like, and I felt like I was mature enough to like watch certain things and stuff like that because I had been exposed to it.
brothers, yeah.
Because I think that's a big factor as well.
Well,
You know
you're
what
the
I mean?
oldest, so maybe it changes a little
Yeah,
bit when
I'm
you're the
the
oldest.
oldest.
When you're the
But
youngest.
Yeah.
as well.
I had my 2 younger sisters, but I spent like man, like all my waking hours outside of my house were spent with my cousins. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys
Oh
would have
my
got
God,
up to some
cousin.
stuff.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
sure.
but even then, like, it wasn't as bad as like
Yeah.
all the other kids.
But what was it like though?
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we didn't really get up to that much stuff that was like not any worse. It was just like not only did we probably didn't even drink as much. We went out and stuff like that, but we weren't like
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
that-
what would it be like though if you're with your cousins or with your mates? Like when it came to doing something that was quote unquote like bad. Like would it be like, oh nah, like my parents wouldn't like that.
Well, yeah,
I wouldn't
some,
do that.
some are like, oh
some
yeah,
would
like
wanna
I'm not
do it.
interested. Some would be like even some of them, for example, like I mean, even look at like Oliver and Rodney and stuff. They never really, like they just never got into like
Yeah.
drinking that much, right?
Well,
Because like their dad, it was never really big in their
Yeah.
family and stuff.
I
you know?
suppose it goes as well. Like it comes down to like what you consider bad. Are you talking about like things that were like criminal activity or
Anything like drugs, alcohol, pornography.
Yeah.
Like growing up as a young kid, like as a young male, especially like going through that phase of seeing different things. Like for me, like my dad used to allow me to go to parties and stuff like that when I was like in year 9.
Yeah, same.
And you know, my dad used to be a shift worker as a single parent, so I would tell him like, oh, we're just gonna go to my mate's house, we're gonna go play bowls, and we're gonna go to the park and play footy.
Play bowls.
Bro, we were at the park
Drinking.
like doing marijuana and drinking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
right? And I'm sure my dad knew. Like I'm sure he wasn't. He's not stupid, but he would allow me to go do those things. But when I was around that environment with my mates that wanted to do it, there's always been a little bit of peer pressure to do it. So that's what we did.
I feel like as well, my parents were a little bit more numb to the whole scenario, especially like because my older brother Michael, one time, bro, I remember like he got absolutely smashed in the park when he was in year 9. He was like 14, 15. Bro, he didn't get home for ages. Like literally it was like 2 in the morning. My parents were like, where is this
and
kid?
year 9 kid too,
Bro,
Yeah.
they ended up getting a call saying, Mrs. Morgan, like Michael's here in the park and he's not waking up.
Oh,
and like
wow.
my
She
mum
would have
freaked out. Like
Especially being the first.
She would have been like my
he was the
son's
second.
Oh, the second.
Shit
Oh,
hit
right,
the
right.
fan.
Son's
But my
dead.
brother Michael, yeah, literally, they're like, and they got to the park, he was vomiting all over himself, like he was
my
drinking
God.
vodka. My dad grabbed him by the scruff of his neck, threw him in the back of the car, smacked the shit out of him, got into his house, and then took him out of the car. And like my old house used to have a driveway down to the front door. Basically, fucking bowled him down the driveway into the garage door and made him go upstairs. And my older brother like is showering him off and puts him into bed and like, yeah, bro. So by the time I came around, like I think
They went through it all. Almost.
they had already went through it, and
Yeah.
I was like, 5 years after, they're like,
They
"All
broke
right,
down the doors.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I
But
can do
that's always,
this now.
That's always the case with the older.
Yeah.
Especially if you have brothers. But having daughters is a little bit different. Like my dad never let my sister do too much because
Yeah.
I think it's because she was a female, was the oldest as well. Where I was just like,
Understandable.
whatever, like go and do what I wanted to do. But you know what the worst thing was? When you talk about like what your dad would do to your brother, like we used to get a hiding when we were younger.
Yeah.
Like, we used to get, but then my dad sat us down and he said, okay, well you're adults now, so we're not going to
Hit you
I'm not
anymore.
gonna smack you anymore, etc. But the worst thing was the silent treatment
That's
from
the
your parents.
worst, bro.
Bro, it is the worst. Like there's disappointment.
That
Like, they're
disappointment.
disappointed in you, and they're just silent, like
Yeah.
for a few days, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, just give me hiding. Like, please
Yeah,
just
I'd
get it
rather
over and done
hiding.
with.
Just bash me.
Yeah, just bash me.
Yeah, it's like I'm not angry at you, son. I'm just disappointed.
Disappointed. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
I
it's
can't
the
believe
worst.
you're my offspring.
Huh?
I can't believe you're my offspring.
Have you seen those videos? They're so funny. Of like, there's a few like content creators that do them, but the Arab guy, he's like an Egyptian guy. He's so
Oh,
funny.
Faruqi.
Is it Faruqi?
Faruqi.
And when he's like,
What do we again?
yeah, but there's a few of them. He's like, what your parents are like when they get angry at you and like give you a hiding and you get in trouble, and then what they're like trying to apologize to you. Like white parents are like, Timmy, I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have spoken to you like that. Like, do you want to come out? We'll get you some ice cream. And then the Arab guy like will come in and cut him like how Arab parents are when you like disrespect your parents and they're like finally over it. They come into your room. They're like, "You okay, son?" No, they won't even be like that. He's like, "You still want those new shoes?" Like, they'll try and bribe you. But like, hey, you have money here? Yeah, take some money. And like that's how the Arab parents like. They're too prideful to say sorry, but they'll like
They have the guilt.
apologize in their own
Yeah,
words.
they
You
have
know
the
what I mean?
Suck up some other way. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was well, what do you think about that in terms of like, disciplining your kids, and how would you discipline your kids? Obviously, you can't beat your kids anymore. Like, you can't
Well, you
smack
should-
your kids.
yeah,
I mean,
why?
well,
Hell, I
no,
can.
Who said you can't?
well, it's illegal to do so. But
What? Not inside my house.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Called
Like,
docs.
you can,
Bro, yeah, but
obviously
look-
you can. I'm just saying, like, from
Bro,
a
look. All
for our
I
audience
know
to
is,
say no.
all I know is this, right? Obviously, like there's got to be you're not going to go and obviously like one. You're not
Smash
going to hit
your son.
You're going to hit your daughter, but you're not also going to bash your son.
No,
through
of
the
course
wall.
not,
But
no.
the fact of the matter is, bro, if a boy is being
Misbehave.
cheeky enough, at the end of the day, the only thing that they respect is fear.
Could
Yeah.
you imagine being
There
fucking
needs to be.
JP's
Well,
son?
bro, I got smacked.
Bro, I got smacked on it, bro.
as a kid,
But I'm
bro.
saying JP son. If he makes JP angry,
Oh my
he's
god,
fucking
JP's
get-
gonna like punch him in
He's
the
gonna be
head.
throwing
Yeah,
it across the fucking road.
Nah, a good slap. I don't want to hit my kid in the face. Like a good
no,
slap
like-
on the ass.
No, my dad used to grab my hand and smack us on the hand.
Oh,
That used to
Yeah,
hurt, bro.
like
but,
right there in the middle.
but bro,
part.
like straight out, that was the only thing I feared. Like I would want to like annoy the shit out of my sisters, like even like pinch them, whatever. And then the only thing that would stop me is like, okay, I'm gonna get a
Yeah,
hiding.
gonna hiding soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
push the
quite
boundary.
frankly,
but
there was no reason. Like we're thinking, obviously, we're thinking our adult, more mature minds. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, these kids like. Sometimes they need
Discipline.
the threat of discipline,
Yeah,
and
bro.
the threat of physical
Yeah,
harm.
time out in the corner. Go sit in the
I've
corner.
seen kids that, bro, you can really tell a kid that has
That
never
gets-
got,
yeah,
that's never
literally.
got
Yeah,
smacked.
of course.
You see them running rampant, and you think, bro, that parent never hits their kid,
Yeah.
and that's a problem.
Yeah, but it's also because their parents not doing anything about it. They're just going about their business or
yeah, but
whatever
it's
it
not
may
even
be.
that, bro. Sometimes it's just like, like stop, and bro,
Yeah,
there,
yeah, yeah.
there needs to be like a look you in the
Yeah.
eye. Do not fucking do that, or I will hit you.
I think that's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
important,
yeah.
bro, for the dad to be able to have the ability and be like, "Oi," and just look at you and you be like, "Shit."
yeah, like that is the look that
The
will
look?
get me hit if I.
Yeah,
Bro.
there was a video that I saw of this kid sitting on a bed. He was 2 years old and he was screaming at his mum. And then you see the dad in the background walking into the room, and he starts to move back into his bed.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
that, and he
Yeah.
stops
I saw
crying.
I love that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah, bro.
so good.
But you know
Yeah.
what, bro? They're the formative years, bro. You need to be able to respect like your parents, bro.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
You know what I
100%.
mean? But I
Yeah.
remember like when I don't know if I've shared this story, but I think I was in like year 2 or year 3, bro. And I came home and I was always scared of
What
report
was that?
day.
Like 2000,
5 years ago.
2008,
2015.
bro. And literally, I came home with my report card and I gave it to my dad. I was always scared for report day because
Yeah,
like my dad
yeah.
would check him like, okay. And he must have had a bad day at work, bro. Because I'm like literally like 8. I was like 8
How's
or
your day?
9.
How's your day, Dad? Good.
Okay,
Okay,
like, come
here's my
sit
report
down.
card.
It's like, let's have a look. It's like, okay. Mathematics, C. Read the comments, every single word. Next. And I ended up getting like, I think all C's with like 1 or 2 B's maybe. And the B's were like PDH and like history or some
The
shit.
bees saved you.
No, they didn't. And my dad was like, he looked at it and he ripped it up and he's like, I wouldn't even wipe my ass with this straw. I wouldn't even use this as toilet paper. I wouldn't even wipe my fucking ass with it.
How he remembers it too.
And my mum was like, I could tell like my mum was like too scared to say anything to my dad.
That's a triggering moment for Maddie.
Bro, have you guys seen that? Have you seen that video of the guy? I've showed it to you guys when he's like, when you get home and you give your report card to your parents. And he closes the door and is in his room and there's Evanescence playing.
Yeah, and he's like sticking his
fingers up behind the door. He's like, I'm fucking running away. I'm laying a hide. He starts packing his bag and he's like rolling around on the floor and he's doing that, like sticking the finger up.
And then it cuts to like the Microsoft sound, like dunk, and you're like asleep. The kid's asleep. You're like, bro, nothing better than that sleep after you cop to hiding.
Or after you've been crying your eyes out.
When you've been crying your eyes out, bro. I don't know what
sleep
happens.
was crazy.
What happens?
Isn't it crazy how real those feelings are of wanting to like literally leave home?
Yeah, run away.
And never come back.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how real those feel in the moment?
Yeah.
Bro.
Like, and how stupid. Obviously, looking back is stupid, but bro, it's pretty scary because we're in the moment. It's
Yeah.
so real, and you
Yeah.
could imagine. Like, obviously, kids have done it. So many kids do it.
But do you know what I think?
My cousin once jumped his. He wanted to go somewhere. The parents wouldn't let him. Big fucking blow up. He ended up jumping off his balcony into like the bush, ran to the station,
Oh, wow.
and left. And then like,
When you
How old was he?
Sorry.
it would have been like early years of high school, maybe.
High school. Oh. A lot of people put up TikToks of their kids trying to leave. Like they
Oh,
film
really?
it. Oh, like they're like
film it at
5
the
years
front
old.
house,
They're
like making
they're like 6 years old. They're like, I'm leaving. All right, grab your bag. See you
Imagine
later.
filming a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Here, leave you little shit.
Filming a 30-year-old son. Yeah, fucking
Dad,
leave.
don't
About
put me
time.
on TikTok.
The thing is, bro,
Imagine
like,
your dad putting you on TikTok. How
Bro,
humiliating.
it'll come back around in the next 20 years. They'll be
Yeah.
watching it themselves, like as little kids.
Isn't it crazy
Doing
that
all
they're
these.
going to see, they're going to have, our kids are going to have so much documentation of how,
Oh, yeah.
of us at a young age. Isn't it funny? We're going to have to delete some of these episodes.
nah.
Full of kids.
One of the things I was thinking about is like those kids, bro. Like nowadays, I feel like they have a lot less. When you just mentioned like, you know, running away and like packing your bags and leaving, I feel like there was a creative element to that. Like you're like, okay, I'm going to go there. I'm going to catch the bus.
Like map it out.
Map it out in
Yeah.
your head. I feel like nowadays are kids as creative, bro.
But they have the technology to be able to look at the map. Back in the day, we couldn't do it. We just had to run anywhere.
They're definitely not like...
They don't have that imagination.
Yeah, but they're not creative in that sense that you're thinking about. But I mean,
Do you know what I mean? Because everything that they're creative with is things that they've seen on their tablet or their piece of
I get what
technology.
you're saying.
Like to
There's
have
not as much creation.
imagination, bro. Like me and my
Imagination.
cousin, I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
like we had a feeling that the guy next door to us was like, we made up this story that he was like a serial killer at our old house.
yeah.
And then we started
The
to,
haunted house kind of thing.
bro, we started to
yeah.
see things that were like, actually, hang on.
What if it-
This
yeah,
is
yeah,
actually,
he is.
yeah,
You're
this is,
putting-
and
you're
then we
piecing
started
things together.
believing it, bro.
Yeah.
And
Or
then we
like that
started
lady's
like,
a witch in that house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was
we
always
started
that house.
ducking around and hiding and doing shit like that. And we're like, bro, like this guy's actually a murderer. And like came up with like a full thing. And having these games and just being like, having an
Yeah.
imagination. Because, bro, you can't just, like nowadays, you just give the kid the iPad and you just
Yeah.
chill.
Well,
One
just
of the
go
things
through.
someone was saying, one of the things that's like really bad about like is that there's no such thing as boredom anymore, which is why there's
Yeah.
no creativity around.
Which comes- imagination comes from
Because you used to
boredom.
have to
Yeah.
figure out, like, bro, I'm so bored. What are we going to do? Whereas
Yeah.
now you just pull out your phone.
Start
Whereas before
scrolling.
it was like, think about it. If you didn't have your phone and you were going to be at home for 6-7 hours, or you didn't have Netflix, you'd be like,
What am I
bro,
going to
it's
do?
going to be a living hell if I stay here. I have to do something.
I know.
Like,
Yeah, but
and you
you'd
actually
either-
had to force yourself into like, okay, I'm going to go play sport. Am I going to go to the park?
Yeah,
Am I
but
gonna
you'll play
Monopoly.
like board
Play
games,
Monopoly,
last
like,
card. Yeah.
go hang out
all
with
that
my
stuff.
cousins? What
Start a podcast.
Start a potty?
Well, not back then.
No.
Not back then.
Who would start a podcast? Idiots. Only idiots have podcasts.
Waste time.
Yeah, 36
do it.
episodes. We're in.
36.
We're in deep, boys. We're in deep.
I know. Is it too far to go back?
Rewind.
We can rewind.
Rewind. Back to episode
we could
one.
just-
This is episode number one.
We could have a
We're back,
hiatus.
baby.
Oh god, we could have a hiatus. We should go back to that table,
Yeah, I reckon the couch.
The couch.
the couch.
The casting
Yeah,
couch.
but it's already. It's,
What do you mean? What do you mean by casting couch?
It's
What is
already-
that?
Like we
What
just
are you
like we
talking
get. I think if we put like a couple of people there that we want maybe want to get on the show, that's what I meant.
about? Oh, they could be our audience.
Yeah.
Kristen
Yeah.
comes to be our audience.
We should add
as long as we
those-
cover it in plastic.
Is there a laughing sound effect?
Let's test them out.
Test out all the sound effects, guys. If you haven't heard all the sound effects, they're really cool.
Oh, that's like
fuck?
This is good. This is like, yeah, that's the entry. Hey guys, welcome to episode
wow.
36.
Wait, hold on,
Oh,
shut
there
up,
you
shut
go.
up, 1 second.
Oh,
What, bro? How have we not played with this before?
okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's hectic. It's David Letterman.
Yeah. Saturday Night Live. This episode is brought to you by Frog Grips.
Oh.
Oh, that was cool.
Oh, we know what that one is. We know that
Yeah,
one.
that's the JP one.
JP one. Oh, shut up.
That takes ages.
Shut up. Oh my
Just
god.
turn the volume down.
No, but I want to listen to the last one.
Go, play it over it. That's the... Yeah, there's no
I like
laughing
this
one.
is my favourite one.
These people don't want to hear this, JP.
Sorry.
Hey, okay.
Boy, that David Letterman one was sick. I used to watch David Letterman every night.
Saturday Night Live? Or is that someone else?
No, like he's the Late Show with David Letterman.
The Late Show with David Letterman?
Yeah, he's not on anymore, but he's...
It's David Letterman. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, that was good, boys.
That was a good one.
Good old chit chat.
I think JP's got a bit of a call to make.
Yeah, but no, it's good. You know, sometimes maybe you didn't have to skip ahead on this one.
What?
What do you mean?
No, nothing. No, I just meant we how long have we been going for? 37 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, 37 minutes. Yeah.
So
All
yeah.
right, so 36, that was good.
36.
Chatting a bit of goss.
Bro, that was like it just kind of flowed from topic to topic, didn't it?
Yeah, names, and then we talked about
It started off
parents,
with,
and we talked
that's how I
about...
got onto it.
Yeah.
What are we going to call this one? We'll go to the listeners. Oh no, because the listeners are going to have to listen to it. Therefore, it's already going
That's
to have
right.
a name.
Exactly. Just question mark.
Ah.
And like sometimes it's too hard to get like, you know, mate, like because we've got thousands and thousands of listeners, if
yeah.
we don't want to get that much feedback.
not
Well, the thing
millions.
is, the polls just get too big. Too many
Yeah,
responses.
That's it.
So there's just
Instagram has to take it down
We've got
this
too
a
many
bit.
DMs. So
Yeah.
if you guys
Literally.
can just slow down with the DMs, that'd be
And
appreciated.
please stop tuning in. I'm getting paid way too much money.
Yeah. The number of
The
streams.
monetization is just ridiculous.
I think we're going to break Spotify for podcasters.
Yeah, I think so. Joe
Yeah.
Rogan, watch out.
Yeah, no, Theo
Yeah.
Von can go get
Yeah.
screwed.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan's going to be on our podcast.
Yeah.
That's right.
Theo, like, you know what some of my favorite jokes of all time are? The Chuck Norris jokes.
Oh, they're mad.
Oh,
Like when
yeah.
Chuck Norris does push-ups, the world goes down.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you know,
That's
like-
so good.
Like Chuck Norris doesn't get sick gets Chuck Norris.
Sick as Chuck Norris. I
What are
love
some of
that.
the other ones?
When Chuck Norris was born, the doctor he congratulated the doctor.
What are some other good Chuck Norris
Right, he was
jokes?
good back in the day. Fucking old
Chuck
Chuck
Norris?
Norris. He was a
Wasn't he on
goat.
Was he on Baywatch?
No, that was
No.
David Hasselhoff.
They look the same.
No, they don't.
They kind of do.
Chuck-
no, they
no,
don't. No,
not
they
at all.
Chuck
No.
Norris on dodgeball was so funny. Remember we got him on dodgeball and he's like that? He's like, no?
Chuck Norris,
Oh,
this
in the
is a great
crowd.
one. Chuck Norris doesn't read books. He stares them down until he gets the information he wants. Time waits for no man unless that man is Chuck Norris. If you spell Chuck Norris in Scrabble, you win forever. When God said, "Let there be light," Chuck Norris said, "Say please."
Bro, who thinks
That's a
this
good
shit? Give me more.
Chuck Norris, tears cure cancer. Too bad he has never cried. Chuck Norris once roundhouse kicked someone so hard that his foot broke the speed of light. Chuck Norris does not own a stove, oven, or microwave because revenge is a dish best served cold.
Oh, yeah,
Chuck Norris does not sleep; he waits.
Good call. Good call. All right, team. That's it.
Team gang.
36. Thanks,
Thanks
crew.
for
Almost at
tuning
40.
in.
Let's go.
See you
Let's
later.
go.
Bye-bye.
Catches.
Bye-bye.